The Curse of La Llorona from 2019 got a 26% on Rotten Tomatoes, but what do I think about it? What's up, y'all? Today we're going to be reviewing The Curse of La Llorona from 2019. The Conjuring Last Rites comes out this Friday, so we're going to be going through reviewing every movie in the order that they happen on the Conjuring timeline, and then after that, doing some rankings and some tier lists as well. Here's the timeline of the Conjuring Universe if you are interested or want to see these movies in order for yourselves. We've already reviewed the first 6 movies in this universe, so if you want to go check those out, feel free to do so as well. So without further ado, let's get into the 7th movie in this timeline, The Curse of La Llorona. It's directed by Michael Chavez. It stars Linda Cardellini, Raymond Cruz, and Patricia Velazquez. In 1970s Los Angeles, a social worker and her children become targeted by the vengeful spirit of La Llorona, a weeping woman from Mexican folklore who preys on kids. This movie aims for eerie, folklore, mythology type of movies, that type of vibe, and I dig it. It has a dark mood and it just takes place literally just fully at night. Like every scene takes place at night. It goes for like a terrifying mood, terrifying vibe, and it gets it. And yeah, I have to admit, it doesn't really take a fresh route. It just kind of goes into the formula of haunted house movies, but that's not always a bad thing. Linda Cardellini does a great job at being this protective mother, trying to figure out the curse that's going on, trying to figure out what is happening to her kids. Are they in danger? That type of overprotective mom that needs to kick in, she does a great job of showing that. And Raymond Cruz is absolutely amazing in here, coming with kind of the magic guy. He kind of just knows everything about La Llorona, knows why she exists, and he knows how to beat her. He's a ex-priest turned folk healer. And also, he's Tuco Salamanca. It relies heavy on jump scares, and I do want to say, these jump scares, I gotta say, these jump scares got me the most out of any movie in this franchise. I don't know what it is, but it's true. I can't lie. There's some atmospheric tension and some ghostly visuals in there, which I think are pretty cool. A lot of times they play on the curtain being white and La Llorona's dress also being white, like made out of the same material. I think that's pretty creative. The design of La Llorona is pretty effective, pretty scary, but it is predictable whenever she's going to appear. Whenever, we have a La Llorona scene, we kind of know. But the jump scares still got me, though. This is a weaker entry in the Conjuring universe. A lot of people try to say it's not in the Conjuring universe. I mean, I know some producers and people involved in the Conjuring movies have tried to say this isn't part of the Conjuring universe because it's deemed bad. I don't think it's terrible by any means. I definitely think it's worth a watch. It's kind of fun. It's a little dark, but it is fun. And I do recommend it, even though this is the most, if you have to take a step back, it's the most disconnected from the rest of the movies because there's only one similarity, which is the priest who had dealt with Annabelle in the past, but we'll get into that later on in the video. So I would recommend giving this a watch. From here on out, there will be spoilers, so if you haven't seen this movie, go check it out. I do recommend, like I said, but it's up to you. So I do think this story is kind of interesting because I like lore, so here we are once again talking about lore. How this mythology creature goes back, or this mythology person of just a regular mom who got mad at her husband for, I think he cheated, so she drowned her kids, and then she was just so sad. She just started weeping, and she wanted to trade other kids out. So she roams the earth looking for kids to replace her own because she feels wrong and sad, and she is just trying to replace the death of her kids with somebody else's kids. So that's kind of the mythology there, and I think it's pretty interesting, pretty creepy. I think the characters were all pretty good. The kids were explored, especially the little girl. She really had no backstory. I know with the little boy, he had a few things going where they would explore his interest in being a cop because his dad, who had passed away, was a cop, and we see him playing cops, and that's the whole reason he runs into La Llorona in the first place. So, I mean, that is a little interesting. That's still underexplored, and I wish they could have went into that a little more. It would have definitely allowed us to be more connected with this kid and follow along his journey more. But, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we have the initial kills of the original kids who were being hunted by La Llorona, which is pretty creepy. I mean, you see him come out into the hallway at this orphanage type of thing, and then La Llorona's just in there in the hallway, and they get got. And she also likes to drown the kids as well. I don't know if I mentioned that, but yeah, that was a pretty creepy sequence right there in the beginning of the movie. Themes, I'm looking good versus evil again. I mean, I don't think there's anything deep, no deep commentary. I'm not seeing it, at least. So, I mean, good versus evil once here again in the Conjuring universe. Now, I do want to say why this is connected to the Conjuring universe, because I know a lot of people say this isn't connected to the Conjuring universe, and we have that's kind of like a battle that does happen. The reason I think people are saying this isn't connected to the Conjuring universe, even producers, people involved in the Conjuring movies, they say it isn't. Well, I believe what happened was they wanted to make like another spinoff. Like they had The Nun, they had Annabelle. It's kind of spinoffs from the original Conjuring movies, and they kind of wanted to keep expanding that. So I think they went for the La Llorona, and they were like, okay, this can be fresh, and we can connect it with that priest who also was connected with Annabelle in a previous movie. And what happens with that is that it doesn't work because it's so separate, because it's connected by just the tiniest thing. This character who was in the movie for about 10 minutes, he was in the original Annabelle for about 10 minutes. This character, he dealt with Annabelle. He's the one that brought Annabelle all the way to the church, and then he got like a big gust of wind flew at him, and then he landed on the ground, had to go to the hospital, and then Annabelle was able to return to the couple, Mia and her husband. So it's just so slim and just such a strange correlation that they added in there. They kind of just added that so that it could be part of the Conjuring franchise, but when it got a negative reputation and ended up being one of the lower rated movies in the franchise, they were like, okay, no, it's not related. This is separate. They could try to like say that, or like have hardcore fans of the franchise will say, oh, it's not related, because they want to build the reputation of the franchise up. And guys, I'm a hardcore fan of this franchise, and it is part of the franchise. It is part of the timeline. It's part of the universe. I'm here to admit it. And also, I don't think this movie's that bad either. And also, I did learn how to correctly say La Llorona, so that's pretty cool as well. I think for years I was saying La Llorona or La Llorona. I don't know what I was saying, but I finally locked in. I also really like that Tuco Salamanca's in this movie. I mean, come on, who doesn't love Tuco? And again, going back to the jump scares, I don't know if I want to say these are the best jump scares, but I guess they caught me off guard the most, or they were maybe it's because this is, now that I think about it, this is the movie that I watched with earbuds in. Maybe that has a correlation, but I also did watch The Conjuring 2, but those jump scares didn't get me nearly as much as the jump scares here in The Curse of La Llorona. So if you're just looking for a jump scare time just to get your blood flowing, to just, I give this a watch. I mean, this does it pretty well. And I do like the lore about putting beads in the door and all the different rituals and things that had to go on, the black yoke, all that stuff. Even though like part of that, he was like setting it up so that the kid got attacked so he could like look at something or whatever his reasoning was. He had it in the bag. But that was pretty cool, and that's some cool folklore. But this movie don't look too deep into it. If you want to have a good time with this, just turn it off and chill back and get scared up at the jump scares like I did. My favorite moment is gonna be when the priest was confronted, and then we learned about that is actually the same priest who had Annabelle and was trying to get him to the church. And then he was telling that's the whole story about why he believes in spirits and demons and everything spiritual. And of course, you guys knew I was going to say this because it has to do with the lore of the franchise, and I love lore. I'm a lore whore. What can I say? That's my favorite part about this movie. My least favorite part about this movie was that Tuco Salamanca was a good guy. What's that all about? All jokes aside, my least favorite moment of this, or I guess this aspect, because I'm going to say how that little girl was underdeveloped. We didn't really feel for her character at all, so it was kind of, we weren't as directly rooting for her. Like, of course, we were rooting for the child to survive, but we weren't connected with her. Because even the brother had a little bit of some backstory, but her character was totally flat. So, I mean, there was really nothing for us to connect to. Overall, I think this holds up all right. I mean, it doesn't have the best reception. Some people say it sucks. Some people say it doesn't. I think it can be decent if you just turn it on and chill back and watch, which is why I think there is some good rewatchability, because, I mean, even the design of La Llorona in itself is pretty creepy, so it's pretty interesting to just turn that off and watch. As far as the franchise goes, it is probably at the bottom because it's just really not connected and the lore is not there for me. So, but I don't think it's terrible, and hence why it's probably at the bottom of the totem pole, but I still don't hate it. That's just why I love this franchise. My humble opinion, I think it's pretty consistent. Overall, this movie is not bad, and I can have some fun times with it for sure. I give it 3 out of 5 pickles. And I might stick my pickle in it, I might not, but please, La Llorona, do not give me that rash. Let me know what y'all think about this movie down in the comments below. Do you hate it? Do you love it? Is it alright? Let me know. Please drop a like and hit that subscribe button, or La Llorona will be coming for you next. Thank y'all so much for watching, and have a blessed day. Peace!